Hey guys, okay, so finally doing the after tournament report. Okay, so the event was actually really great. Just like to say overall, the store, I haven't been there in a very long time, but they have a ton of stock, all kinds of different stuff. The tables are really great. They have chess clocks on every table, which is really cool. And let's see, what else do I have here? Oh yeah, they supplied pizza and stuff, which was great because it's like next door, so you don't have to go anywhere and you can just eat at the table. It's just super nice. They also supplied two drinks, and I mean the prizes were great. Like they definitely just put all the money back into the prizing, so that was pretty sweet. It was only $20 to go. Yeah, so if you're ever thinking about going to the win some Black Knight games, I definitely suggest that. Okay, so on to the event. Um, Game one, I was versus Tomb Kings, and he had basically a balanced list. He didn't bring the dragon. He did have a Bone Giant, Scorpion, 30 Skeletons, Tomb Guard, and some other stuff. I think he had a level 4 and a level 2. Yeah, in that game, notable was like the Plague Monks literally ran at the skeletons and did 0 damage and just died. So that was pretty disappointing. But then the big things that happened there was that the Hell Pit got into the Tomb Guard, held them up, did a lot of damage, and then the Furnace also got into them. When the Furnace charged, it blew up the whole unit. They just instantly died. There was, I think, 20 of them or so. There was a king in the unit and the BSB. They basically did no damage to me, and they just exploded because the impact hits. And yeah, like it's just how it works now. If you do impact hits and stuff, and you kill the champion, you just put one attack against the champion, he dies, and then the two characters swing. They only have like what 6 attacks. I mean, I'm toughness 5 on both guys, so yeah, just basic. I think he did maybe 1 wound to my Furnace, something like that. And then my combat res, I think at the end of it was I was above him by 18. So yeah, the whole unit just exploded, obviously. And then other notable things, I guess the Demon Prince went into a giant and he actually almost died. He had 2 wounds done to him. He only had 2 wounds left, and then he insta-killed him with the Dragon Slayer sword. Not that was too big of a deal, to be honest. At that time, the Furnace and the Hell Pit just cleaned up the Tomb Guard and were free to kill anything they want. So I think at that point he conceded. Yeah, it was a great game. He was a great opponent and stuff. But yeah, when the Furnace and the Hell Pit got in there, just blew the unit up. That's pretty much all she wrote there. Game 2 was versus my old friend Robert. I actually know him from long time ago when I used to go to their events. Yeah, he has like kind of like a purple themed high elf army. They're really cool. Anyways, he had a dragon. It wasn't a star dragon, but it was basically unkillable. Has a 2 up, 6 up, 5 up. I think that's what he had on it. But he basically had no actual weapon on the guy on top, so it wasn't nearly as scary. But even still, my prince and his dragon danced around each other for a bit. But then I kind of, suggested that he could, by putting my plague monks up a bit. I said, you can charge these guys with your dragon if you want, but it might not work out, kind of thing. And anyways, I did that at the same time as I put my prince up to be able to charge his Swordmaster. So basically I said, hey, your dragon can charge my Demon Prince, or you can charge the Plague Monks and be safe. If not, my Prince is just going to charge into your lines and start killing everything. So he went into the Plague Monks and then killed them, overran, and anyways, he was kind of in a position where he was out of the game at that time. But then, he caught them, so he got to reform. So he reformed to face the rest of the game, but it actually exposed his rear flank to a unit of clan rats. And those clan rats still had a champion and everything in it. So he was well aware of that, but the problem is the Hell Pit was into the Phoenix Guard, killing them all. And they really needed help, and if they weren't going to get the help, then they were definitely just going to die to this Hell Pit. just like everything else. And so, he took the risk and stuff. And then, yeah, this is waffles. And then he, what was I saying? Yeah, so anyways, Dragon exposes rear flank to the clan rats. The clan rats charge him next turn. I challenge, and because I have a rear flank, 3 ranks, and a banner, I actually tie him, and he passes his leadership test, but because I won, he got pushed back 2 inches, which is fine. But then, I continued into him, and the following turn, he actually flubbed on all of his rolls, and then I won by 3 somehow because I was still in his rear flank, and he only did 3 wounds somehow. So I had ecstatic comma as a 6, and he failed his leadership test. Like, he didn't fail like normally. Like, he rolled an 11 and broke, and then I ran him down. So the unit of clan rats literally killed a dragon. So that was pretty unbelievable. At the same time, my Demon Prince, like I said, was charging his Swordmasters, killed all of them, got into Alien Reavers eventually, killed them, and the Plague Furnace helped out the Hell Pit again in the Phoenix Guard. And those two together, I mean, against infantry, they stand 0 chance. Absolute 0 chance. It's like basically any infantry in the game, a Hell Pit and a Furnace goes into that unit, it's dead. It's there's very, very, very little chance. I'm not exactly sure, like, because they went through Tomb Guard, they went through Phoenix Guard, and in my next game here, they also went through Chosen with the Wizard, level 4 Wizard in it and everything. Okay, so that was that game. Obviously, when his dragon died like that, he conceded. I don't blame him, because at the time, his Phoenix Guard were basically dead anyway. His Swordmasters were dead. And now his dragon just died to clan rats, like, obviously that's the end of the game. So game 3 against Warriors of Chaos, this guy had 2 level 4s, level 4 Demon Prince and a level 4 Wizard Lord, and he had the Ruby Ring of Ruin. So he had basically 3 fireballs, or equivalent, or whatever you want to call it. It killed all my shit, like, pretty easily, like the Plague Monks and the Plague Censor Bearers, and a fuckload of the clan rats died. And then, but at the end of the day, I had more combat than him, actually, which is, like, super weird, right? Skaven into Warriors of Chaos, he'd be like, obviously the Skaven would just easily die, but the Hell Pit and the Furnace again, they're extremely scary. The Furnace killed basically all 30 Marauders with flails. He had 2 units of 15 Marauders with flails and Khorne, and they charged into my clan rats. They beat them, but not by enough, and I think they fell back in good order. And then the Furnace charged them, just killed them all. Not actually killed them all, killed enough. Then they failed their tests. I overran and died. And then next turn, he charged the other unit of Marauders with Frenzy, and also killed them, again, very easily. Impacts alone, right? Impacts alone kill like 3 guys. The guy on top has 4 attacks, he went on 2s. Then there's 9 more attacks that, hit on 4s or not on 4s, whatever. And then the grind after that, like, yeah, almost the whole unit died to, like, actually died. There was only like 5 left or something like that. And obviously they ran away, and I pursued them and they died. The big story was his Demon Prince with wings. I didn't realize the Demon Princes are heavy infantry, or just monstrous infantry, right? So they count as infantry. So, and they're a lone model, so they just get to charge 360 and shoot 360. So his Demon Prince flew around basically the entire game. And my Demon Prince was trying to chase him around. A Hell Pit was also trying to catch him, or my Furnace, but they had other things to deal with. So it was just really interesting. I didn't think that you could do that. And he has fly 8, so like you can just march around, fly 16 in any direction. Like it's really, really good. And another interesting thing that happened was he had a level 4 Sorcerer Lord in a unit of Chosen, and they did the spell where he gets fly 12, and he marched 24 inches just straight ahead to get away from the Demon Prince and the Hell Pit. And that was pretty funny. But eventually, one turn, he failed to cast that spell, and the Hell Pit, Clanrad, Speed of Speed, both weapon teams started to get into him. And once the Hell Pit got in, Hell Pit just started doing Hell Pit things to infantry. And just like I thought, like it's like he just mulches them. He kills them all. He has the same initiative, so he does get to attack me. He was killing me. I think he had my Hell Pit down to like 2 wounds left. But by that time, the Demon Prince also got into them, and I think he did like 2 or 3 wounds. It wasn't even that much, but it was enough to like be like, okay, that's it, and killed them all. And then there was just the Sorcerer Lord left, and he got ran down by the Hell Pit. And at that point, I think the Demon Prince lived. Yeah, the Demon Prince definitely lived. I just couldn't catch him. I mean, fly 8 and lone model is super, super good on a guy that is huge, essentially immune to damage from my weapon teams and stuff. So, and I had no magic or anything like that. And even if I did, I mean, I really doubt that I'm going to do that much damage to him. So yeah, edits to the list. I took no magic, and it wasn't a problem at all. Just like I thought. You still get the 1 dispel. I think I dispelled like 1 spell each game. But whatever. It's the thing is that wizards, they got to be within 24 inches of each other, level 4s, and it's extremely hard to do that, especially in multiple different phases. Like you might start the phase within 24 or something, and then they move, and it's just this whole cat and mouse game. And there's so many points. They're like 200 points for level 4 usually, something like that. And I just don't think that they do that much. I know everybody's all about them and says they're really, really good and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I think that it could be cool trying out a list like that and stuff, having a Gracier or whatever on a flying carpet and stuff, fly around and whatever. But it's 240 points. Like the Hell Pit is 210, and he was killing way more than his points every single game. He probably killed, by the end of the tournament, 1,500 points, something like that. Like, because he killed all the Tomb Guard almost on his own, all the Phoenix Guard, again, almost on his own, and then all the Chosen, again, almost on his own. Whatever. He also killed a unit of Knights in that game against the Warriors of Chaos, and right there, it pays for himself with the Knights, and then he killed the Chosen as well. He easily doubled his cost, like tripled his cost, because he ran down the Sorcerer Lord as well. So like, yeah, something like 1,500 points, and he costs 210. So like, effectively tripled his value. Like really, really great. Would never leave home without a Hell Pit again. And yeah, so my other MVP was, to be honest, like my regular Clanrat units. They just never actually got ran down. Like, I think they got ran down. Actually, I'm not sure if they literally ever did. There's just too many of them. And models don't have, that many attacks and stuff anymore. Like, they'll kill the front rank, and I don't get to attack. Okay, sure, whatever. But then there's still 20 of them. He doesn't outnumber me. So I just stick around, right? As long as I'm near the characters and stuff, anyway. Anything else would be, my weapon teams are really garbage. They killed like a total of 11 models the entire event. so obviously they're not worth it. They didn't even misfire or kill themselves. They actually rolled a great number of hits. Basically every single game. They did, like, I think I only misfired literally once, which was only a -1 to hit. It's just that they're so often hitting on 5s and 6s that, they just don't do any damage. And at 65 points per weapon team, like, I could have just had a whole nother unit of Clan Rats, which, in hindsight, obviously way better. So I did find out that allies, we apparently have to have like a whole miniature army. I didn't know about that. Most of my team didn't know about that, or any of them. Pretty sure we were all trying to just take one character plus one unit, or one character plus like artillery or something. Turns out you have to have like, the 25% minimum core and follow all the normal rules for building an army, but with only 500 points. So obviously I won't be taking that again. But to be honest, I think after watching the Clan Rats do what they did to that other dragon, obviously I'm not thinking that they're going to kill dragons all the time. But, if I put an engineer or just like a little chieftain in the unit, I challenge with the champion. One turn, okay, cool. I sit there, challenge with the warlock engineer next turn, okay, cool. And now you have to go through. It's going to take like 4 rounds of combat. And at the end of the day, he's going to get maybe 150 points, something like that. So obviously, super, super not worth it. And you can't avoid, like, my new list has 3 units of Clan Rats and a unit of Storm Vermin. Obviously, you can't avoid that, right? What are you going to do? Just go after Hell Pits the whole time, and I'm just going to let you do that? Okay, sure. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Yep, those are my closing thoughts. Hope to see some of you guys out there next time, and see you later.